Hi, I'm Julie, and this is Bruester. Today I'm going to be reading from Hans Christian Andersen, The Ugly Duckling. I hope you enjoy it. A mother duck was waiting for her eggs to hatch. Slowly the shell cracked, and the first tiny bill and then a yellow wing appeared. Then, with a great rush, a bedazzled yellow duckling fell out. He stretched his wings to clean his feathers. Soon he stood proudly beside his mother, watching his sisters and brothers all pushing their way out of their shells. There was only one shell left. It was the largest, and the mother duck wondered why it was taking so much longer than all of the others. She wanted to take her babies down to the river for their first swimming lesson. There was a loud crack, and there lay the ugliest, biggest duck she had ever seen. It wasn't even yellow. His feathers were dull. His feathers were brown. His feathers were gray. "Oh, dear," said the mother duck. She led her family down to the river. The ugly duckling trailed along behind. They all splashed into the water. They were all swimming gracefully, all except for that little ugly duckling who looked quite large and ungainly in the water amidst all those cute little duckies. "Oh dear," said the mother. The whole family set off for the farmyard, where they were greeted with hoots and moos and barks and snorts from all the other animals. "Whatever is that?" said the rooster, pointing very rudely to the mother duckling, to that ugly duckling. All the little ducklings huddled around their mother and tried to pretend that ugly duckling wasn't even with them. "Oh dear," said the mother duck. The ugly duckling felt very sad and very lonely. No one seemed to like him, not even his mamma. He ran away from the farmyard and he hid in some dark reeds by the river. Some hunters came by with their loud, noisy guns and their big, fierce dogs. The ugly duckling paddled deeper into the reeds, trembling with fear. Only later in the day, it grew dark. The ugly duckling dared to move from his hiding place. All summer he wandered over the fields and down through the rivers. Everywhere he went, people laughed and they jeered at him. All of the other ducks he met, they hissed at him and they tried to bite his tail. As well as being ugly, the little duckling was lonely. That little duckling was unhappy. Soon winter came and the rivers froze over. One day that duckling found himself trapped in the ice. He tucked his head under his wing and decided that his little life must soon be over. He was there early the next morning when a farmer came by to feed the cows in the field. Well, that farmer broke the ice with his shoe, and he wrapped that little duckling in his jacket and carried him home to his children. And they put that poor cold duckling in a box by the fireplace, and he thawed out and got warm, and they fed him and they stroked his feathers. And that little ugly duckling stayed there all winter long, and he grew bigger and he grew bigger all the time. Well, the farmer's wife really didn't have much time for that duckling. He was always getting under her feet in the kitchen. He was knocking things over. He spilled the milk that was in the bucket that was given to them by the cow. He'd get his great big feet into the butter churn. Well, that little duckling was a big duckling now, and that duckling was a nuisance. Well, the wife just didn't have time for him, and she got into a rage, and she was in such a rage that she chased him right out of the kitchen, out of the farmyard, through the gate and down the lane. And down the lane, he noticed it was a beautiful spring day. The apple trees were covered in blossom, and the grass was green, and the air was filled with the sound of bird song. And the ugly duckling wandered down to the river. And there he saw, 3 magnificent, pure white swans. They were beautiful, and they were graceful. They glided over towards the bank where he stood. He waited for them to hiss at him and beat the water with their great wings to frighten him away. But they didn't do any such thing. Instead, they called to him, "Come join us! Come, join us!" Well, at first, he thought it was a joke. "Come, join us," they asked again. He bent down to get into the water, and there, looking at him, was his own reflection. But where was the reflection of that ugly duckling? All he saw was a magnificent swan. He was a magnificent swan. Not an ugly duckling. He was a swan. He lifted his great, long, elegant neck, and he called in sheer delight, "I am a swan! I am a swan!" And he sailed gracefully over the water to join his real family. You have a great day. I'll see you again. So will Bruester. Bye-bye.